Please describe yourself.
I grew up in Paris, France. I majored in chemistry with a minor in English. After I graduated from university, I got a job as a high school chemistry teacher. But now I am looking for a job at a company in the private sector.
Why are you trying to leave your job as a high school teacher?
I enjoy working with kids, but I think my skills are better suited for research.
Why do you think that?
I think working in research would allow me to work more creatively than working as a teacher. Also, I am interested in trying something new and having a chance to use my knowledge of chemistry.
Then why did you decide to become a high school teacher after you graduated?
At the time, I thought it was the best choice for me, and I wanted to help students enjoy chemistry as much as I do.
I see. Tell me about the best manager you ever had.
The best manager that I ever had was Mary Washington. She was my manager at my first job, and everybody liked and respected her. Not only was she smart and talented, but she was also kind.
What do you think made her such an effective manager?
She was a great communicator. She was able to explain her goals and ideas clearly to the staff, and everybody knew what was expected of them. But Mary Washington was also a great listener. If an employee had an idea, suggestion, or complaint, she would always listen and discuss the issue with the employee.
What was the most important thing that you learned from her?
I would say that the most important thing that I learned from her was how to deal with people. If you listen to other people and speak to them honestly and respectfully, then you can make strong relationships.
Tell me about your educational background.
Well, I got my bachelor's degree in electrical engineering from the University of North Carolina. I chose this major because I've always been interested in technology. Even when I was young, I used to like taking apart electronics to see what was inside.
Interesting. Besides classes related to your major, what kinds of classes did you enjoy?
I always enjoyed English classes. Actually, English is not my first language, so it was very important and interesting for me to continue to work to improve my English.
Your English sounds perfect to me.
Thank you. By the time I got to university, my English was good enough that I could take regular English classes with native English speakers. It was a good way for me to gain credit and also continue to build my English skills.
That's great.
Tell me about your work background.
I have only held one position. I worked as an IT specialist for a multinational corporation. I started that job immediately after graduating from university, and I worked there for 6 years.
And why did you decide to leave that position?
To be honest, I feel like I am ready for a new challenge. I am hoping to use my skills and knowledge to help create tech products for consumers.
How do you think your experience would help you in this job?
I have in depth knowledge of current technology, and I know what features make technology easy to use and what features ruin the user's experience. I believe I could contribute a lot to making great products.
That's great to hear. You said that your weakness is learning new technology. What are you doing to improve your weakness?
As you know, technology is constantly being updated and changing. So it is important for people in our field to stay up to date with the latest technologies. I often fall behind on this because I become too focused on whatever project I am working on. In order to fix this, I set aside 1 hour every day to study new technology.
What time of day do you do that?
I do it every morning from 8 to 9, right before I start work. I like to sit in the coffee shop on the first floor and have my morning coffee while I study a little bit.
That's great. Do you ever miss a day because you are too busy or too tired?
Of course I do, but I have a rule. The rule is that if I miss a day during the week, then I need to make it up on the weekend. For example, I wasn't able to study this Wednesday because I had a dentist appointment, so I will study for at least 1 hour this Saturday.
That's a good rule. What are you interested in?
I have been interested in playing the guitar since I was young, and recently I have started learning how to play the drums.
That's impressive. You must be very talented.
No, I am just okay, but I think that music helps keep me balanced. Playing music relieves my stress and helps me forget about work.
Do you get a lot of stress from work?
Not really, but I think it is important to have a good work-life balance and to have hobbies outside of work. I don't think that it is healthy to focus only on work.
I agree with that. So, do you think you have a good work life balance?
Most of the time, I think I do a good job. Sometimes I will become very focused on a project or some task, and I need to remind myself to take a break and do something else.
I am the same way.
What are your hobbies?
My hobbies are reading, studying English, and doing yoga.
What kind of things do you enjoy reading?
I read the newspaper every morning, but that's for work and to stay up to date with the latest news. But for fun, I enjoy reading novels.
Do you read novels in English?
Sometimes, but it definitely takes me a little longer to read books in English than in Spanish, which is my native language.
That's natural. Did you also say that you do yoga?
Yes, I do yoga at least 3 times a week. I think it's great for staying fit and for relieving stress.
That sounds good. Maybe I should start yoga.
I highly recommend it.
What are your interests?
I'm interested in many things, but I would say that my biggest interests are sports and psychology.
Psychology?
Yes, that's one of the reasons that I'm applying for this marketing position. I'm fascinated by why people act in certain ways and why they make certain decisions.
Do you think this interest would help you in this position?
Absolutely. If you can understand why a person makes a decision, then you can use that information to influence them. So I think that psychology and marketing are connected.
That's very interesting. Can psychology also help you deal with your coworkers?
It can, but I think it's harder because with a coworker, you're dealing with just one individual, and every person has different traits and characteristics that make them unique.
I see. I wish we had more time to talk about this. It is very interesting. What are your strengths?
I think my biggest strength is dealing with people. I do my best work when I'm helping customers. I listen and pay close attention to their needs, and I do my best to help them. I think the customers can feel that I genuinely care about them.
As the head of customer service, how will you use your strength to help the department?
The best thing I can do is to teach the members of the customer service team how to provide excellent customer service. I have a lot of experience in this field, and I've dealt with all kinds of situations and customers. I believe that my expertise can help the department improve greatly.
Have you ever trained staff members before?
I've never formally trained any customer service members, but I mentored many junior staff members at my old company. I know what inexperienced customer service reps struggle with, and I know how to help them improve.
That's good to hear. Do you think you could create a training course?
I would have no problem doing that.
What are your weaknesses?
I feel that my biggest weakness is not paying enough attention to detail. I enjoy creating overall strategies and plans. Sometimes I am so focused on the big picture that I forget some details, and this can affect the quality of the work.
How are you trying to improve this weakness?
I think the best way to improve this weakness is to just be aware of it. I constantly remind myself to focus not only on the big issues, but also on the details.
Is there any specific technique or method that you use?
Yes, at the beginning of a project, I make a list of all the details that I need to check. And if I think of a new one during the project, I immediately add it to the list. This has helped me improve my attention to detail, which has helped improve the overall quality of my projects.
That's a good method. What can you tell me about yourself?
I am originally from Germany, but my family moved to Los Angeles when I was 15 years old. And I have lived in Los Angeles since then. I am a very outgoing person who loves to be around other people, and I enjoy doing physical activities.
What kind of physical activities do you like?
I like to do anything outside, like mountain biking, kayaking, or fishing. But I would have to say that my favorite activity is walking my dogs in the park near my house.
Oh, you have dogs. What kind of dogs do you have?
I have 2 golden retrievers.
Does caring for two pets affect your ability to work late if needed?
No, it doesn't. My husband has a flexible schedule, so he is always able to take care of the dogs when I am busy.
That's good to hear. What courses at university did you like the least?
I would have to say that my least favorite courses were English classes.
And why is that?
I like speaking and practicing my English, but I hate reading English novels. Actually, I do not even like reading novels in my native language, which is German.
So you don't enjoy reading?
I like to read, but I prefer nonfiction books. But in English classes, we almost always had to read novels. On top of that, most of the novels were very old, so the English in the novels was a little strange to me.
I know what you mean. I am a native English speaker, but sometimes the English in those old novels is hard for me to read.
For me, Shakespeare was the worst.
I agree. I hated reading Shakespeare when I was in school.
What do you consider your biggest strength?
I think that my attention to detail is my greatest strength. This has helped me greatly during my career as a project manager.
How has it helped you?
My attention to detail helps me make sure that all parts of a project are completed correctly. I think that attention to detail can help make a good project into a great project.
Can you give a specific example about this?
Many project managers do not pay enough attention to the quality of the images that they use in advertisements or on the company website. It may seem like a small part, but having high quality images can make a big difference.
I completely agree with you. Sometimes certain aspects get overlooked.